Okay, we're back. We're going to be looking at the cos rule. Now, in the previous video, we looked at the sine rule. To get achieved, you need to know two skills. We're going to learn three because if we make one mistake, we can still get that achieved. Just a few background notices again. We're dealing with triangles that don't have to be 90-degree triangles or right angle triangles. We've dealt with that in years 10 and 11. These rules can apply to any triangle. And also background information that you need to know in order to pass is that the internal angles of a triangle add up to 90 degrees. All right, you should know that, but that's just a quick reminder. So our cosine rule is this. It looks pretty nasty, but just bear with me. We've got a squared. So this length is equal to this length squared plus this length squared minus 2 times the 2 length that we just talked about times cosine A. All right, it looks crazy, but just bear with me. The way I remember it is that if you have a length followed by an angle that you know, followed by a length that you know, okay, imagine that. So we've got cab over here. Imagine this as a scrum where this is the forward pack, including this A, right? So you've got the three neighbors, length, angle, length. If you put the ball in the scrum, you want it to get passed to the halfback, which is behind the scrum. And this is really what happens if we figure out this opposite length. If we know the three amigos, the length, angle, length, we can use this formula to figure out this opposite length. Cool. We can also, if we do know this opposite length, we can plug in the same values with the formula to figure out that missing angle. In rugby, that would be like that hooker position. All right, so let's practice this. And these are the two formulas that can be rearranged with our graphics calculator. I think we can get away with not even having to rearrange it, so you guys are in luck. But this one is like this. So we know angle A. Let's just imagine that this is 60 degrees. We know that B is 8 centimeters, and we know that C is 5 centimeters. All right, and it asks to find out the missing length A. So we do have the three amigos. We've got a distance that we know, an angle that we know, and another distance that we know, and we're wanting to find that missing length. So let's put in our graphics calculator. So bear with me. We've got a squared, is equal to b squared plus c squared. Let's just go back up here so you can see what we're doing. Minus 2b times c times cosine. And I know this is a, but these are two different things. They're opposite, so that's why we give it lowercase and uppercase, but they actually have different values, so we're giving it the value of x. The important thing is that you know that the angle corresponds to this cos and whatever the symbol is, and it is opposite this length a. We push execute. Now we don't know what a is. I'll just make it look like we don't know what anything is. Let's enter the values that we do know. So we do know that the angle, which I know is A, but this A is going to stand for the length. The opposite angle to the length we want to find out is 60 degrees. B is 8, C is 5. So I go to A, which I don't know, and I click solve. Bam, 7 centimeters. We've done that. Let's just look at another one about finding the angle. So we want to find the angle of the triangle. So this is a bit trickier. So if we wanted to find out the opposite angle to A in these new ones, let's look. We've got a 31 centimeter. Let's just put them in as well. 31, 45, 59. Now this X corresponds to the opposite length, and we could change these around, but let's just stick with this. We're going to find the angle opposite to 31. So I've entered the values I know. I have one that I don't know, and I click solve. It tells me that it's 31 degrees. Let's find out where A is. Hey, that's 31 degrees. We're sorted. Then you can carry on using the cos rule or the sine rule, and maybe even using the triangle rule that it adds up to 180 degrees. Those are two skills. So we need to practice them, and we'll just look over the area rule as well. Cool.